Movie review number 1531 is Fackham Hall. Fackham Hall is a 2025 movie that is directed by Jim O'Hanlon. Jim O'Hanlon. Hanlon. So this movie has Bleecker Media, Elysian Film Group, Archery Pictures, and Headgear Films. I saw this movie on December 10th, 2025 at CMS Liberty West 315 in Cinebistro in Liberty Township, Ohio. So, this movie is about the Davenports. The Davenport family, which is led by Lord and Lady Davenport, along with their two daughters, live at Fackham Hall. And by the way, I just want to say that if you guys have seen this movie, and have also seen the first two seasons of Downton Abbey, you might find some similarities or spoofs or nods or maybe references or Easter eggs, I would say, as the trailer depicts from the studio that watched the first two seasons of Downton Abbey. Pretty interesting, right? And if you guys don't know what Downton Abbey is this British period drama that aired in the BBC from 2010 to 2015, and then eventually came to US stations from 2011 to 2016 about a family, and basically there were similarities between the first two seasons of Downton Abbey and Fackham Hall, which I thought was pretty neat. So anyway, a new portal forms an odd bond with the youngest daughter of a well-known UK family known as the Davenports, and they deal with the epic disaster of the wedding of their eldest daughter to a Kater's cousin. However, things take a turn from the wars when somebody is murdered, and then a detective comes and tries to solve the case. Anybody in Fackham Hall, regardless of his royal staff or servants, anybody is a suspect. I will say this: the person who did this may not be who you might expect, but it does reveal what happens. And like I said, this movie does have some nods and Easter eggs to the first two seasons of Downton Abbey, which I thought was pretty cool. So the movie is mostly comedy. There's a little bit of drama in it, and maybe a little bit of romance as well, but it's really more comedy. And it's also a little bit of a mystery movie, a murder mystery movie. But one thing I like is the comedy part. There were definitely some times when I was definitely laughing, because this was definitely more of a comedy movie than a drama. And I definitely like the jokes and humor in this movie. Yeah, this was pretty good. If you guys like Downton Abbey, I think you guys will like this movie. It may not be as serious as some parts. Like I said, this more comedy related, but I still thought it was pretty good. So this movie has Thomasin McKenzie as well as Davenport. Ben Radcliffe portrays Eric Noon. He is the guy that falls for Rose. Damian Lewis portrays Humphrey, or Lord Davenport. Catherine Waterston portrays Prudence, or Lady Davenport. Emma Ward portrays Poppy Davenport. Lizzie Hopwin portrays Phyllis Davenport. Tom Felton portrays Archibald Davenport. Tom Goodman Hill portrays Inspector Watt. Anna Maxwell Martin portrays Mrs. McAllister. Sue Johnston portrays Great Aunt Bonaparte. Jimmy Carr portrays Fiddler. Willie Knight portrays Fifty Valentine. Matt Arena Sylvie Randall portrays Miss Rose Sewell. Tim McMorrian portrays Celia. Rory Organ portrays Patricia. Paula Walton portrays Mrs. Kitchen. And Gemma Worley portrays Gladys. So, it's definitely a pretty good movie. It has humor, drama, mystery, and a little romance. As Eric Noon, who is this new portal that comes to Fackham Hall, falls for one of the Davenport's daughters, Rose. And she is the youngest daughter. And she does believe in true love and romance and stuff like that. Then the Davenports have a little bit of a catastrophe when their eldest daughter runs off from a wedding as she falls in love with somebody else that is not part of the royal staff. And like I said, there was a murder that happens in Fackham Hall, and the inspector that comes to the Fackham Hall trying to figure out who did this murder suspects that anybody could be a suspect. But why and who did it, that will be revealed later on in the movie. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I definitely saw all the seasons of Downton Abbey and Fackham Hall, and I definitely saw some Easter eggs or similarities. So if you guys see those similarities as well, then you're like, oh yeah, they really did watch the first 2 seasons of Downton Abbey. Right, so it's pretty good. So that's my movie review of Fackham Hall. Please continue my next movie review. Alright, goodbye.